guilty again. See, this is what Ice Cube's Predator album was about. This is what Ice Cube's Death Certificate album was about. Songs like Black Korea. You know, songs on the Predator, really the whole Predator album from Ice Cube. It was about this. You can't turn the ghetto into Black Korea.
Now this one.
Another black person, black child killed. For those of you who don't know, there was a not guilty verdict. I personally don't cover these stories intently because, you know, it's like the system's going to play out however the system plays out. And rest in peace to Cyrus Belton, this young man right here. He was shot running away 130 yards away from the store. The owner and his son chased him down and killed him. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the relationship that has with Latasha Harlins and how that worked out. We also going to talk today reparations. The Trump administration thought that they was going to give some reparations out to them January 6ers. They thought they was going to have that money to them. And then they said, Mr. Trump, not so fast. Not so fast. Proof that, hey, the people do have somewhat of a voice. Somewhat. And we're also going to talk about, on top of that, this a lot of black folks, a lot of people in general got mad at the disrespect of Muhammad Ali by LeBron James's agent, and when he compared LeBron to Muhammad Ali. So what I'm gonna do when we get towards the end of the show, I'm gonna talk about, you know, Muhammad Ali and why, because I like to use these opportunities as teaching moments. I like to use these opportunities as teaching moments to where that we can learn. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in to how great Muhammad Ali was and what made Muhammad Ali so great and why it must be taken, you know, we must take offense when anybody, I don't care if they black, falls 15,000 miles short, but still want to put themselves on the same level. So that's what we about to talk about today. But let's first get into it. What's up, chat room? Thank y'all, chat room, for coming in here. We're going to get into this not guilty thing first. We're going to talk about this and Latasha Harlins and what needs to be done next. I appreciate all y'all for joining in. Make sure you go to bamfamilytree.org. Hit the fundraiser right here. Hit the fundraiser. Hit the fundraiser for the Black American Music Family Tree. Y'all know I'm out there. This is what I've been doing. Y'all know this I've been doing with y'all donations right here. Teaching the kids how to play the drums. This is where your donations go. Teaching that boy to fat back. So that's where your donations go right there. I get to get out into the community and help. And the kids don't get charged. You dig? This is how kids and youth get taught without expenses going to the parents. That happens through community support, meaning each one teach one. Everybody drop $5-10 in a bucket, and then say fuck it, and we can go out there and teach the youth music and history. You dig what I'm saying? So be very clear. Your donations are going directly to being able to have me work with these children and work with and teach. Both physically teach the drums and also teach the history, which raises self-esteem. Because when you know who you are, you behave in accordance. All right? That's something I figured out years and years working into the Department of Mental Health. When people are acting crazy, when you teach people not only who they are, but connect them to a greater lineage of greatness, it changes how you view yourself, which changes how you behave. All right? So when people be like, what you doing? That's what I'm doing. All right? Appreciate y'all for joining. So let's get into it. Shot in the back. Let's get into this story right here. This story is messed up, man. This y'all got the, for the most part, synopsis of the story. This young man, they said he had a gun on him, but no witnesses said that they saw him pull a gun. He was accused of stealing water bottles. First off, they say he didn't steal the water bottles, investigators. But let's say he did steal a water bottle. Do y'all think that this man would have chased down a white man that stole a water bottle? Like, dude, he didn't even steal no Hennessy or nothing like that. That may cost you a couple bucks. He stole, you thought he stole a water bottle. Thought. Only for him to not have stolen nothing. And he did the appropriate thing when scared. Ran away. Doesn't matter that he had a gun on him. Here's why this is why they're going to use that gun thing. Let's talk about why they're going to use that gun thing. Going back to the Virginia colony in the late 1600s, when Blackbeard and Black Caesar held up the port, that's when they first start having their gun laws against melanated people on this planet. The gun laws go back to the 1600s. The Stono Rebellion in the 1700s. The reason why black people classified as black, have been able to be subjugated on this land for so long is wrapped around the whole gun thing. One side gets to get guns, the other doesn't. That's been a consistent thing throughout American history. Some people in America gets to walk around and have guns freely, some don't. And that divide has always been along color lines. And you saw a similar thing happen here in California when the Black Panthers used to walk around with guns. California went from being the wild, wild west to the most gun control, one of the most gun controlled states in the union. And if you look around, Cook County, Illinois, California, New York, New Jersey, blue Democrat-run states generally have the strictest gun laws. Well, this happened in a red state where guns are more liberal. According to law, he's a minor. A minor should not have been walking around with a gun. But a minor with a gun that's not pointing it at anybody does not deserve to get killed. So they killed this young man. And then he just got found not guilty. Not manslaughter, but not guilty. So he's going to walk. Similar to Latasha Harlins. The reason why I have the passion that I have towards what happens with black folks is I could trace that back to one incident. Latasha Harlins. I was 8 or 9 years old when she got shot. I was 8 or 9 years old, sometime around there. And I saw the video footage of this black girl. I'm not going to play it because I don't like playing footage of people getting shot. But they played this all on the news here in LA when I was a kid. And you saw a black girl, with an attitude, obviously. You couldn't hear what they were saying. She slammed something on the counter and then she walks away. And when she walked away out the store, you see the lady go down and grab the gun as Latasha Harlins is walking out and shoots her in the back. Only to get 6 months probation. And that's the catalyst that started that really kicked off the LA riots. I would say Latasha Harlins would be what poured gas on everything. Now the fire was already being set because every day you looked up, the police was beating somebody's ass. Other people were getting away with harming black people. So that was all that was stuffed on. Latasha Harlins poured the gas on everything, and Rodney King lit the match. Rodney King was just an ugly pimple that bursted. But Latasha Harlins was the pimple. Her situation. Shit ain't right here. That was 36 years ago. 36, 37 years ago. This goes back to what Dr. Claude Anderson said. The white majority is going to start giving buffer classes more power so that the white majority can rule as a minority. And the only way they can have minority rule is if they have buffer classes that get similar benefits. And we see that the East Asian has been tabbed as the one that gets the similar benefits within the system. We see that happening right here in front of us. And that's what this is about. That's what this is about, man. And this ties also into what we were talking about last week. Remember, just last week we were talking about the Kevin Hart roast. What did we talk about on the Kevin Hart roast? Rocky? The Kevin Hart roast is all about showing the world that black people are okay to be abused. And that's why I say, when it comes to this, look, man. Look, y'all. The people down there got to do something. Like, yeah, we can boycott their businesses. That sounds good. But when you're talking about a ghetto's occupied territory. There are people who don't have the ability to boycott these businesses. Convenience, transportation. And another reason why I don't bring up the word boycott, we don't have the unity nor the small environment of, look, y'all, let's tell the truth. There was only one goddamn boycott that worked. That's why they keep going back to the Montgomery bus boycott. Because that shit ain't worked since then. One thing we got to get creative. We got to start running back to just whatever the Cabbage Patch kids said, that we be just going back. Well, I read this in this book growing up, so it must work. If boycotts worked, we would have more recent success than 1955. None of us was born the last time a boycott met. Hell, half of our parents weren't born. A lot of our parents weren't even born with the last time a boycott worked. That's just some shit niggas say to sound like they saying something that's effective. It's not effective. And if you read books like this, We Will Shoot Back, if you read this book, you'll see why the boycotts were successful. They were in a small, controlled environment. Black people all lived on the same side of town. There was compensatory action, and there's physical violence that was enforced. What do I mean by compensatory action? The people who, when they were, instead of catching the bus, people who worked in similar neighborhoods, because a lot of black women who worked were maids and handmaids and people they worked for. People who worked in the same neighborhood got in the car together to work. So instead of Mary driving and Agnes and Jane is on the bus, Mary picked up Agnes and Jane and took them to work. Are you willing to do that with your neighbor? Probably not, because most people aren't neighborly these days. So unless you're willing to pick it up, and when your neighbors need to go far to the other side of town to shop, a boycott's not going to fucking work. All right? 2, when men didn't follow the boycott, people like Amzie Moore and other men came together and they'd whoop your ass. Men got one warning: hey, this is the boycott. And then they would come and say, hey, we can help you. And if somebody was like, you know what, fuck you, I'm getting on that bus anyway, 5 or 6 deacons was going to show up to your front door and beat your ass. That's a part about the Montgomery bus boycott that they don't mention. And you can read about that in this book, We Will Shoot Back. Because the thing that they was doing mostly was shooting back. The boycott was part of it, but them niggas was shooting back. And so there was enforcement and there's compensatory action. We don't have, and then there's another thing. Code. We didn't have people who were not from our bloodline in the mix at the time. And this is no disrespect to those who from other backgrounds. But those of you from other backgrounds, you know your brothers and sisters. You know your cousins. These people are not coming here to boycott shit. They come here to make their bread. That's a factor that didn't exist in 1955. You didn't have people that's been here for 10 years and they came here to make bread. They didn't come here to survive. They didn't come here to fight the government. As a matter of fact, they scared of fighting the government because they don't want their green card taken. So that was an element and a factor that did not exist at that time. We live in a new world. We have to acknowledge the playing field we're on. Everybody who's our skin folks ain't down for revolution. A lot of these people just want to make their money, and I'm not mad at them. It's on me to recognize that is a factor. Along with goofy ass Americans who will go right lock in step, like, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather. Y'all remember when black folks talking about boycotting Gucci? What Floyd Mayweather do? I got my money. I'm getting my Gucci bag. I just spent $40,000. We got those kind of goofballs and no enforcement mechanism to deal with them. We have to find a way to really enforce the code. The code back then wasn't like black folks just like, oh yeah, we just gonna come together. No, they was putting foot to ass. And we live in a world today where people are getting mad because we call somebody a tether. Oh, don't call them that. Oh, don't call them that. And back in the 60s, they put one of them civil rights shoes square in your ass if you was off code. So these are all new factors that didn't exist in 1955. So when people are talking about boycott, the shit's not going to work. Time for something different. But you know what has worked all throughout American history? What we did here in LA, that worked.
Thinking like that. Like,
that worked.
Like, time you talk to me.
I want to watch it. Paul Pierce and Corey. That shit was funny. That worked. I was here in the 90s. I remember a lot of things we wanted here in LA. My mom used to always, ask where the sport. We used to always go down to Councilman Nate Holder's office. We don't have any sporting goods stores. We don't have none of that stuff. Them riots came. All them things we was asking for before them riots magically appeared. You all right, Rocky? You all right? So yeah. So this is going to require the people down there immediately affected to do what they feel is right. And I'm not inciting any violence. No, I'm not. But if the people down there just go back to shopping at that store and acting like nothing happened, what can we do from LA? Nothing. Yeah, I didn't boycott Target either, Brandon West. Yeah. I'm gonna do boycott Target to support Walmart or Amazon. They're all the fucking same. That's nothing. We live in a world to where these conglomerates, multinational conglomerates, got everything locked up. You jump out the frying pan into the fire. Let's just stop saying boycott. Like, it doesn't work. Oh, we're gonna boycott. Yeah. Name one Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson boycott that worked. Look at what happened in the 80s and the 90s. Black people were like Al Sharpton be like, we need to boycott Clear Channel and Spectrum Cable for not having no black channels. And then Spectrum Cable give Al Sharpton a couple dollars. Give Jesse Jackson's foundation or corporation a couple dollars. Boycott over. Shit does not work. But we can have a different understanding about how that, if you guys choose violence, we could have a different understanding on how that's going to go. That works. That works around the world. Now let's get to the next story. Let's get to the next story. Judge blocks Trump's $1.7 billion anti-weaponization fund. We're going to talk about this in concert with the next topic with the Democrats. Hold on one second. Get him a Benadryl. Get him a Benadryl. So here we go. Y'all remember Donald Trump was saying that he was going to try to get this money and give it to the Trump supporters that was down there on January 6th? And all the vote blue no matter who crowd was like, "Ooh, I told you, President 2025, he can do whatever he want." No, he can't. Let me tell y'all something. Everything that happens in this country happens is within what's in the boundaries of what's supposed to happen. The oligarchs who run this nation. No president runs a country. That's something that you can't get these thick in the head ass vote blue no matter who niggas to understand. No president runs anything. Now, they have some control over certain things. And Trump, with his ego, he thought he was going to plaster his name on all these buildings. And he's being told, hold on there, fried face. Hold on there, leather skin. Yeah, we gave you this job, quote unquote, running this country, but you can't go that far. You can't go that far. So this was blocked, and also Trump's name was taken off of the Kennedy Center. Yeah, they're blocking his marijuana rescheduling. Yeah. This is what we mean, people, when we say this country's run by oligarchs. It's not run. The president, look at the company, man. Look. All people have to do is pay attention to the names. President. How is the structure of a corporation set up? You got a president and you got a board. The president is at the will of the board. Do you think the United States or any government, France, Germany, England, Nigeria, India, Sri Lanka, Argentina, you think that figurehead is running anything? So we see here that it got blocked. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we also see a change in temperature from the Democrats. Have y'all noticed the Democrats are now talking reparations? Y'all noticed that? The same people who mocked us, Nephew Luke, Joy Reid, they now talking reparations for black people. Press the number one if y'all have seen The Switch, The Switcheroo. Let's look. Listen to Joy Reid right here.
Your reparations, even for a study, they don't want to touch that. What you got, sis?
Apparently, reparations are something that MAGA is in favor of. And now that we know, I think that it's really important for us to act on the information that we have received. Now that we know that a president can, without Congress, without going back to Congress, because who knew? There's a fund that...
Chat room. Is this not what the new black media has been saying? Really since the pandemic. Really since the pandemic and before the pandemic. But really since the pandemic, when everybody got a direct deposit overnight. Y'all remember that? Cats woke up with money in their accounts like, whoa! And really before that, black Americans been saying they can do what they want to do when it comes to giving money out. That's something that they can do. It comes down to motivation. It's the motivation. The foundation for inspiration is the motivation. See, the reason why that happened during the pandemic was because Americans were real scared. There were a lot of things going on in America. People couldn't work. And the economy had to continue to move. The American economy is a kiting system. You gotta keep circulating money. Money cannot sit still, not for a second. They say if people didn't pay bills or spend money, if every American decided not to spend money for a day, it would collapse the economy. But that's not going to happen. But they've been saying that for a long time. They've been saying that for a long time, right? It ain't going to happen. But Joy Reid, when we were saying that, she was the one calling us crazy. Remember that? Same thing with Angela Rye. They were saying that we were bots. Who remembers Joy Reid saying that we were bots? Oh, the people who want reparations, they bots. Now that them Democrats are getting screwed over and screwed up, listen how they sound.
Congress has pre-appropriated, as you will know as a former congressional staffer, that sits there in case there are settlements that the government needs to make, so they don't have to keep going back to Congress every time. Donald Trump has now tasked his Justice Department to dip into that settlement fund to the tune of, and you gave me this information, $1,776, in order to give reparations to the insurrectionists. Well, now that we know, sis, the next time there's a Democratic president, I don't want to hear anything about them not being able to do reparations. I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, so now that we understand the uses of power, we get to apply to that too. So the next time there's a Democratic president, we don't want to have a commission. We don't want to have Congress do a study. We don't want anyone to do a study.
She sounds like Professor Black Truth, don't she? She sounds like Tariq. She sound like the weirdo. Ain't that what they been saying? She sound like the weirdo that we don't see. He been saying that for a long time, the one that hide behind the camera. Be on point like a motherfucker, though. But remember her Roland Martin was talking crap to the new black media? Y'all remember that? Oh, they getting desperate as hell.
You are going to start issuing reparations to the descendants of African, formerly enslaved African people.
Heard she just said, formerly enslaved African people. Formerly enslaved Africans. She's baking it in the cake right here. So now when those of us who are on code with Black America, foundational Black America, Freedmen and Freedmen, two different distinctions, same thing. So when we speak up, she's going to say, well, do you want another Trump? Remember, this is the play. When they start talking about reparations, and we say, no, delineation, they're going to be like, well, either we all get it or we get another Trump. And you know what we're going to say? Bring in another Trump. So?
To the Tulsa survivors' families, to the families of the survivors of every massacre that has taken place with the government of the United States either standing aside or participating. Because now we know that we can do reparations. So guess what, Papi and Mommy Chulo? The black people are going to be coming up to the table to get reparations. That's number one.
What the hell did you just say?
You see that? The Tulsa survivors. There's way more than Tulsa survivors, man. My great-granddaddy invented the automatic railroad crossing, got awarded the patent, and didn't get paid a dime. He had to move from Benton Harbor, Michigan to L.A. and be a barber the rest of his life. My great-granddaddy should have been able to retire after inventing something that revolutionized safety around the planet. You would think the man that saved millions, hundreds of millions of lives would have at least been able to retire. Hell, he didn't even get damn pass anything down. He didn't even get enough money to retire. He had to cut hair over on 27th and Central, where he had his shop. This time 90 years ago here in Los Angeles. He made that invention in 1925 and had to still work the rest of his life. So it's a whole lot. That's why we talk about foundational Black Americans. Trying to throw that Africa shit in there. And it's another one that's on that. Y'all remember Nephew Luke was trolling FBA saying, you FBA never gonna get reparations. Y'all ain't remember. Y'all remember Nephew Luke done changed his tune too. Listen to Nephew Luke.
They're giving reparations to people who stormed the Capitol. Before they didn't understand reparations. Not one fucking Black or Democrat never crafted a bill, put it to the House, got votes for it to give African American, foundational Black Americans reparation. But yet and still, Donald Trump did it for his people. I respect it. Look, he's a Republican. He's supposed to do that. Where we gonna do it? Did Debbie craft the bill?
Y'all remember when he debated Tariq? Tariq so eloquently. Y'all remember that? Oh, Luke done changed his name. Donald Trump got them scared, y'all.
Did Jared Moskowitz craft the bill? Did any Democrat craft the bill to repair and repay these African Americans? Again, like I said early on in this conversation, when they came back from World War II and they got put in slavery and they gave the white counterparts who they fought with houses and they took shit from us. Where's the reparations for African Americans? We don't have those kind of representatives. We have representatives that want to sit there and contemplate. We have representatives who want to sit there knowing that there's a travesty being done to an African American community like Broward Congressional District 20, and they sitting on their ass. Hakeem Jeffrey should have been jumped his mother.
Man, Luke has gone a long way from it's your birthday. My bad. He's gone a long way from it's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday. See, and I'm with it, okay. But this is why this is important to say this. This is why Luke talking like that is very important. Because we have to go back to the beginning. Let's go back to 2016 when all this really got pumped up. 2013, 14, Black folks were really disenchanted with the Democrats because Obama it's not just that Obama didn't do anything for Black people. That wasn't alone it. We saw how much Obama did for the tech industry. We saw how much Obama did for gays. We saw how much Obama did for immigrants. Opening up jobs for them and H-1B visa and all the tax credit that basically the reason why Elon Musk is basically a trillionaire now can be directly tied to the policy Obama set during his second term regarding the research for the internet. We saw in 2007, you could say the word agate all day with an F in front. You can say that all day. By 2012, you can, not only can you not say that anymore, on the day Trayvon Martin got killed, they get the right to marry, and then they spent the next 4 years pushing it past beyond marriage. We also saw those reparations Obama gave them. Who remembers that? When they were talking about for the years that gay people were not allowed to be married, there was a tax credit that basically reparations that then go back and amend past years in taxes, however long they've been with them people, and get that money back. Yeah. Let me see here. That's what it was. Federal benefits and legal recognition for same-sex marriages. Here it is. We saw Obama do this. We saw his record. And all of these things, advances that they got. Mind you, LGBTQ health, the AIDS strategy, ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell, ending the Defense of Marriage Act, protection against discrimination, ensure LGBT equality, the True Colors Fund, money to give the LGBT youth. A lot of money went to them. And the reason why this was so important was because those of us who were around in the 90s, you remember what it was, the taboo tis government had towards the gays back then. You remember Bill Clinton's Don't Ask, Don't Tell being like huge. Like, it was a huge thing just to tell the military, don't ask them if they gay and don't tell if you gay. That was big shit back then. So recognizing LGBTQ history and contributions, money, all this is tied to money. The Department of Interior, National Park Service theme study. So when we talk about all the LGBTQ history being intertwined with Black history, that comes from Obama. You're reading this from obamawhitehouse.archives.gov. This is literally from the Obama White House government official page. At a time, it went from being completely taboo to within a few short years, them getting laws and money. This is when we woke up like, oh, y'all passing out money? Huh? Y'all amended, passed laws, and they can catch up tax-wise and get money? Oh, hell no. And that's when Joy Reid, Roland Martin, and the Democrats were saying, you get nothing. Kamala Harris, you think I'm going to do anything for Black people? No. That's when all that made us be like, you know what? Well, then fuck y'all. Maybe President Trump won't be so bad. And we saw Trump. He was pretty shitty that first time. But he, for the most part, didn't do much. He didn't hurt us. Didn't help us either. But at least he didn't do this. Trump didn't do this. Use civil rights that Black people fought for to give it to a specific marginalized group not named us. He didn't do that. And for us, that's all we cared about. Like, shit, we know Trump is racist. We know he ain't shit. But at least he won't do nothing like this. But Joy Reid said we crazy. Vote blue no matter who. They wanted us to vote Hillary in regardless and said, hey, once Hillary gets in, we'll fix it. These are the little things that presidents do have somewhat of a control over. They don't have control over the country's master plan, but they do have control over little small wins here and there. That's the little that they have control over. Very little. And then when Biden got in office, Biden went right back to LGBTQ stuff, didn't he? And he told Black folks, you guys I'm going to fight with the Mexicans. Y'all remember that? Man, salute to Sincere Love to God and Nicey Girl. They bookmarked this, so I bookmarked their page. I'm going to keep this shit bookmarked. Listen to this. Y'all remember this? The leak, Democratic leak?
Zoom call.
This is Biden. This is President Biden right after being elected, but before taking office. This is that like in December of 2020, right after he won the election, but before his inauguration. Listen to how he talks to these black people in the media. If y'all forgot, listen to this.
I found it, y'all. This was the infamous Zoom call when Biden was barking on these same Negroes that's out here now telling us we about to lose our right to vote and we going back to the 1950s and all of that.
They're gonna put you back in chains. Ain't that what?
On racial,
this is a classic
made
right here.
significant progress.
Listen.
On racial equity. This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority European.
I think I'm going to use that for a hook. That sounds like a hook now.
He said this country is doomed. That's Biden talking. It's doomed because it's not going to be majority white anymore. That's why the country's doomed. Not because of the economy. Not because of inflation. Not because of the families getting broken up. None of that. No. Not because of oil prices or housing crisis or famine. Not because of any of those things. Natural disasters. But because the country is going to be minority white. That's what Biden said. And mind you, he's talking to NAACP leaders. You see Mark Murray out there and a few of them others. Now keep listening.
It sounds like a hook now. Biden's spitting. Biden's spitting right here. I think I'm going to sample this.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white. European equity.
Right there, y'all. Tell me that ain't a hook right now, man. I'm about to write some shit to that right there. Hold on. That's a hook right there.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European.
He's very specific.
And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Heard that? And you guys are going to have to start working with the Hispanics, who make a larger proportion than you. Listen.
You hear me? Minority white European.
He's very specific.
And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Heard that? So that's what Joy Reid wanted us to. That's what we had voted for, and then Joy Reid and Al Sharpton, they all ignored that, and then we saw what happened under Biden: crazy immigration, crazy inflation. We saw Ukrainians getting Section 8 in the good side of town. We saw all that stuff. Why did we say we wanted Trump in office? Not because Trump was going to fix anything. Oh, to the contrary. Cats like me, I said it very clearly. I knew Trump was going to mess things up even more. But I knew Trump would mess things up for everybody. Not just us. Like Biden wanted. See, people were happy when Biden was in office and he said, and you guys are going to have to fight with the Hispanics. That was cool when we got to be the ones that's fighting, when we got to be the ones stepping down. When we got to be that, all of a sudden, it's cool. With Trump in office, it's no. Everybody gets these hands. And that's the only reason why Trump is cool. No other reason. Trump ain't cool. He ugly. He look like a liver spot. He's the true definition of a dude. Y'all know the true definition of what a dude is? A dude is a wart on a donkey's ass. That's Trump. But he's everybody's wart. Joe Biden was our wart. Joe Biden looking like the Reed from Nothing But Trouble. Okay, folks. If you're in an ambulance, you have a chance. If you're in a hearse, it gotta be worse. Looking like the Reed from Nothing But Trouble. Y'all remember the Reeve? This is Biden. And that's why I never let her bank her gold. They the same thing. I'm telling y'all. And you guys. And Joy Reid was like, no, that's cool. Luke was like, no, that's cool. Ain't they the same thing? Where Tupac at? All around the world, same song. I came to the party to get naughty, get my rocks on, eat popcorn, watch a movie. Y'all remember that video, Digital Underground? The same song video? What? What? Who remember that? That's where I first saw Joe Biden. That's where Joe Biden got his career started. Y'all remember that? Let me mute it. Y'all remember this? Look at Joe Biden. Look at Joe Biden. Come on, Rocky. What's up, Bronze Badger? Okay, folks. So yeah, Rocky, come on. Rocky, come on. Hey, folks. Let me turn my. Make sure you hit the donation. Preserve and protect Black music history. If y'all like what y'all hearing right now, you know this is better than Super Chat. Even though I don't get to read your name like that on Super Chat, even though I don't get a chance to read your name like that, this goes 100% towards the cause, right? Rocky. So yeah, that's where we at. That's where we at right now. And this last topic, for some reason, I cannot find the video. Stop it, Rocky. She gone. Right here. So LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, next story. We'll tie it all in. He compared LeBron to Muhammad Ali. We're about to talk right now why that was off cold. But let's watch the video first, all right?
When you say legacy, how did you, what's the moment that you told that to LeBron?
Well, I mean, we were just having a conversation, and I was just like, look, I think this is probably the best situation. It may not happen overnight, but if you win one time in Cleveland, there's nothing else to be done. Because he already had rings. So it wasn't about, he already had rings. Whether you have 2, 4, 6, 18, whatever, you're a champion. No one can say you're not a champion. But the idea of going back home, winning one, I felt that I always looked at LeBron to be more of what I would say was the people's champ in terms of, you know, like Muhammad Ali was.
Right there.
Even when he lost, I felt like people really embraced him.
He also did not shy away from the issues of his day.
Yeah, and so
I was always impressed by that. Controversial issue would come up, social, political issue, and I thought that there were one or two missteps I wasn't crazy about, but related to Daryl Morey in China, I didn't love that. But I understood he has a lot of business over there, and so did a lot of people. But basically, at every
so that part right there, this part going back to this part about Muhammad Ali. Let's go back to that part.
Embraced him.
He also did not shy away from the issues of his
Muhammad Ali was, you know, like Muhammad Ali was.
Yeah. See, that's what we can't do. We cannot lower the greatness of Muhammad Ali to just being somebody that the people liked. This is the reason why. Let's be very clear, for the people who don't like it, fuck you, I don't care. But for everybody else that's in the middle, like, Dewan, why do you talk about Jay-Z so much? Why do you talk about LeBron so much? Why do you talk about Obama so much? It's because that's the unholy trinity of black misleaders. Marketing puppets that got pushed to the front to mislead us. And they're cancers to black society. They're not good for, they're destructive to black society. So that's why I use them as examples, because they're very destructive to us. Right. Muhammad Ali would not have told us to stop protesting. Let's go back to 2020. America was on edge. America was doing what America does. It was starting to look like the 60s. And we were doing the one thing in America that has been effective. Read this book. All black folks needed was 6 weeks without sports. George Floyd incident was roughly 6 weeks after all the games were canceled. No baseball, no football, no basketball, no boxing. There were no games on TV. And not just black folks, the American population in general. America was like, hell no. It wasn't even a full 2 months without entertainment. The world was getting ready to flip. And what did that clown say? I do. We just need to play some basketball. We need to play some sports. And what happened, y'all? They went back to playing sports. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B dropped WAP. And it was back to business, back to bread and circuses, back to business as usual. Right there before this record inflation that we're dealing with got there, right there at that time, before the Ukraine war, before the Iran war, there was a chance to do something. And he did that. And what happened the year before that? Jay-Z said we're past kneeling with Colin Kaepernick, right? Then LeBron said we need to play so I can win this bubble ring. If you can't see through that, I don't know why you follow my channel. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'd rather you just not follow my channel. Like, I low-key have some respect for that mod that I had to demod last month because of he didn't like the way what I had to say about Jay-Z. And he went crazy and he left. I'm glad he left. Because if you can't see through this and I'd rather not deal with people who arguing with me. Because those who argue with me on these type points, you're in the way. You're getting in the way. I'm here trying to bring clarity for those who see. I'm trying to help give a voice for people who see what's going on but don't quite know what's going on. That's the God-given talent that God gave me, the ability to speak to what people feeling. And I'd rather speak to you guys who see what's going on. That's right, Chief Colors, be in my flow state. I'd rather be able to speak to you guys and have a smaller audience and decipher and tell the real than arguing with some nut job who has an athlete or entertainer's jizz in their jaws. And I remember when I clowned old boy that was a mod, I knew that there was a good chance. I was like, if I said what I really want to say, this dude gonna leave. And they used to put up good super chats too. I wasn't tripping. They used to always super chat me. But I can't help it. I can't help it. I could have been like, oh, this dude, he is a mod and he do contribute a lot. But having a clear message without having to go back and forth with somebody who's blinded by stardom, that's not worth your super chats. I love your super chats. I appreciate the super chats. I don't take the super chats for granted. But I'm not going to not speak on what I see for a super chat. Not going to do it. So going back to it, make sure y'all hit the donate to the foundation right now. Right here, hit the. If you like what you're hearing, y'all see we under shadow ban. We under serious shadow ban here. Make sure you contribute. And also, I got my raffle going on. I didn't put the raffle link in there. My raffle for the signed Black American Music Family Tree. We got that going too. That's real talk. Church of Black Power. If you compromise, you're gonna have to keep doing it, right? Willie Mays, you say you know who it is. Yeah, you were in here. I think you were in the chat when it happened, Willie Mays, Detroit. I think you were in the chat when it happened. I love my mods. I love y'all, but y'all not gonna punk me. But at the same time, so that's why this is important. See, this is why. Let's get back to why this is so dangerous. This kind of rhetoric. There's a generation that wasn't alive with Muhammad Ali. Like I wasn't born until 81, so his career was over by the time I was, for the most part, born. But I got to see what Muhammad Ali did. I got to see what Jim Brown did. And when you're dealing with Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, that's why I didn't like what Nick Cannon did when Nick Cannon called himself Dick Gregory. See, this channel has character and consistency. I like Nick Cannon overall, but this is the very channel that called out Nick Cannon when he called himself Dick Gregory and then folded when those people came. Dick Gregory didn't fold. Dick Gregory just said, I might have to not have as much money. I can't be rich, but being there for my people is more important than being rich. And when Nick Cannon called himself Dick Gregory, I didn't have an issue with nothing Nick Cannon did until he tried to put himself in Dick Gregory's shoes. Now, Dick Gregory gave us the ultimate sacrifice, sacrificing fame and fortune for us. Don't do that. Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. Appreciate that, Sherelle. Brian, you donated anonymously. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But what is that video? I was going to put that video. Muhammad Ali used to speak on us, and he didn't pull any punches. He didn't pull any punches. He didn't just say, this is Muhammad Ali. They're comparing LeBron James, let's play basketball to this.
Let's quit worrying white people, plaguing white people's neighborhood, forcing ourselves on white people, and we don't clean up and do for ourselves. The slum is not in the neighborhood. The slum is not in the ghetto. The slum is in the people. The people make the slum. And the condition our people are in now, if you gave them a $93 million project, they'll make a slum out of it in 24 hours. Then you can take a nation of people who are intelligent and they can make a slum of paradise.
That was him talking about the condition that we got to get through in our minds. He was mimicking what James Brown was talking about, helping one another.
Tell you what,
wasn't saying I'm scared. Y'all remember LeBron was like, I'm scared. Muhammad Ali was never scared. Listen to this.
Bet you the Viet Cong, who we black people, not me, I wasn't fool enough to go, who those who help fight, I bet you the Viet Cong is more citizens and can come here and put on a little suit and get more freedom and move in neighborhoods and put up business where Negroes can't.
I believe that.
No, that's not right.
I believe that. I believe that.
They're under a dictatorship just like the Russians.
The Japanese can, the Germans can. Everybody that's not American can go and do what Negroes can do. So quit being hypocrites on this TV.
Well, where can't you go, Muhammad? And
okay, I'm one big nigga. I'm a nigga, got $10 million. I'm a great fighter, so I can go.
Well,
what's the answer, Congressman?
The answer is that, you know, it's easy to sit back and call everybody else in the world a hypocrite. I'm not going to call anybody a hypocrite. I think everybody has a right to their own opinion.
Any white person in this artist, when I tell the truth of my people, ain't nothing but a hypocrite. You take your face and your complexion to the White House and repay the black people for all the work they done done, all the slaving.
Get down, brother.
Sly Stone up there, man. That's Muhammad Ali. That's Muhammad Ali. Not talking about I'm scared. Here it is. Who remember this? Muhammad Ali was so great. Well, I can't say remember. This is right before I was born. I remember watching this video. Who remembers this from Muhammad Ali? He was so great. He saved somebody from committing suicide.
From a ledge 9 floors above Wilshire Boulevard, the hooded man shouted, "I'm no good. I'm going to jump. The Viet Cong are coming at me." Police, a psychologist, and a minister had all but given up trying to change the despondent man's mind when Muhammad Ali, who happened to be nearby, volunteered to talk to him. The former heavyweight champion went to a window and reportedly yelled, "I'm your brother. I want to help you." Recognizing Ali, the man finally opened the fire escape door and Ali approached him on the ledge. It was a very tense 20 minutes. Several times it looked as though Ali was going to fail. Then, suddenly, it was all over. The man, Ali said later, began to weep. He was taken to the psychiatric ward of a veterans hospital. The former champ promised to visit him there later this week.
That's Muhammad Ali. We can't compare, and there's nobody post Ali, post Jim Brown that comes close. Not my favorite all-time player, Magic Johnson. I love Magic. He my favorite. He ain't there. Kobe, my second favorite. He ain't there. Not Shaq. Not Floyd Mayweather. Not Barry Bonds. Not Mike Tyson. And definitely not LeBron James. You cannot compare any athlete of today. And we will not let these people conflate the real from the fake. You cannot. put a LeBron James on the same level, in the same word, in the same sentence, paragraph, nor speech as Muhammad Ali. Nobody. Not Kendrick, not Drake, not Dr. Dre. Nobody. Let's have respect. You got to have respect for Muhammad Ali, man. And we will not allow some cis-ass nigga to crap on the name of other black people. And that's why a lot of these people, when y'all become super stands of these people, y'all allow them to completely sin. Y'all allow it. Because he be like, well, nah, he really didn't mean that, man. But why are you hating on the king? See, people that care about the culture, that care more about the culture than any individual, y'all be the main ones. Oh, man, don't say that, man. That's the king, man. Leave Brian alone, man. He ain't mean it like that, man. Leave Brian alone. Okay, so now there's a 15-year-old out there that hears grown people. Let's say you got a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old who was raised right, and they actually do listen to adults. They actually do trust as adults. And they hear adults saying LeBron and Muhammad Ali, LeBron and Jim Brown. Well, if that youth don't have the time to further investigate Muhammad Ali, which most don't and most won't, they're going to run with that while never receiving the benefits of a Muhammad Ali. God damn, Rocky just let one go, boy. Shit. God damn, Rocky. Oof. This nigga, right? I got an incense burning, and Rocky just let one go like, fuck that incense. God damn. Little dog this cute dropping them grown-ass man bombs. That was a silent and deadly one. Shit. Oh, no. Rest in peace, Peebo Bryson. This was just reported on TMZ. Wow. Rest in peace, Peebo Bryson. I gave my all, but I guess it's not enough. Now, everyone on my favorite Minnie Riperton song is now gone. Man, I love Peebo Bryson, man. Shit. Rest in peace. This is one of my favorite Peebo Bryson songs, and he was on it with Roberta Flack and Minnie Riperton. Man, we're losing we're losing all of the greats, man. There's a gateway right now that's opening. Rest in peace. Love that song. That's Peebo Bryson singing on this. and Roberta Flack. Minnie Riperton laid that track down. This album came out after she died, and she laid that track down, and Roberta Flack and Peabo Bryson filled in the rest. Damn. Peabo Bryson was one of those artists that started off on the soul side and then went to the crossover side and then came back to the soul side. He also had one of the most notorious froze of all time. Man. People had them shags too, boy. You said, somebody reach out and touch me. I just saw Peabo at the Hollywood Bowl like 2 years ago with Gladys Knight. Peabo Bryson, man. That brother had a voice, boy. Shit. Just once. Remember that? Can we find a way to finally make it right? Make the magic last for more than just one night. Never last for long. Where are we going wrong? Man. Rest in peace to the great Peabo Bryson. Damn. Damn. Man, black people, we got so many legends. We got so many legends. And this is something I put up yesterday. This is just who we lost in the month of May. Sonny Rollins, Dexter Wansel, Ronald LaPree from the bass player from the Commodores. Dexter Wansel did Nights Over Egypt, Mars album, amazing arranger, producer. Foster Silver, Ryan Porter, Rob Bass, and my greatest loss, Mr. James Anthony Carmichael. Producers like James Carmichael and Dexter Wansel, arrangers. I've talked to Mr. Carmichael so much about how he arranged. Like when he arranged like songs like Zoom or I'll Be There or Never Can Say Goodbye. When y'all hear those parts, this is why they were so great. When y'all hear those parts, they wrote each part out hand by hand, pencil to paper. If you were a producer, if you were an arranger for Motown, you had to write out every single part in a song. So, Mr. James Carmichael, when you hear this song right here, when you hear this, Mr. James Carmichael as an arranger, people don't even know what an arranger is. When you hear them singing, ooh, bop, doo bop, he had to pull out a music sheet and a pencil and write each note down that each one of those five brothers is singing throughout the song. Had to write each note down that the bass player was playing. Had to write each rhythm down that the drummer was playing. That's what an arranger does. They get the song and they got to put all the music. Back then, it wasn't no computer back then. You had to get sheets of paper and a pencil. And you had to write everything out, note for note. And the musicians then the producer got these arrangements, organized them, and then gave them to the artist, into the band, and the band would sight read these arrangements. And that's how they put together music back then. We're losing, a generation that did it all the way right. Sonny Rollins was back in the days of single track recording. You had Sonny Rollins when he recorded his masterpieces, one shot, one take. It wasn't no go back and play this part again. No, that was it, homie. And you learn about Sonny Rollins in my Miles Davis course that I put up. Sonny Rollins played this. No mistakes. And Ronald Dupree would play that bass. Man, we lost some giants, brother. We losing some people who really, made some way. We lost Bob Law earlier this year. Damn. Threw my whole fucking vibe off. But make sure you go to incenseandashtrays.com, read my blog. I gave my rest in peace to my father-in-law, Mr. James Carmichael. Rest in peace to James Gaston. James Gaston was the drummer on Dancing Machine. When you hear Dancing Machine, that was James Gaston on drums. So James Gaston and James Carmichael both gone. But you can read these blogs on incenseandashtrays.com. All right. But let's get back to it, y'all. Let's get back to it. Yeah, they recognize people for his Disney hits. Niggas don't give a shit about no Beauty and the Beast. Niggas love, I'm so into you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I just saw Peebo Bryson at the Hollywood Bowl like 2 years ago. Yeah, we losing people we can't replace. Yeah, we losing people we can't replace. You can't replace these people that are gone. So if you got any elders that are around you, man, make sure you talk to them, get to know them better, get to know their story, and pass the stories along to the youngsters. Do y'all want to take calls? I'll take. I wasn't gonna do calls, but I'll do a couple calls if y'all want to call in. If you don't call in right away, because I'm not gonna leave this phone line open for like 1 minute. If don't nobody call in the first minute, I'm hanging it up. 323-705-5150. Let me know what you feel if you want to call in. Because man, we have a lot of stuff going on right now, man. Like you get to see what Trump. They can't do everything that they want to do. The people have somewhat of a voice. Somewhat. You see what's happening with the Democrats? All we had to do is say, hey, we just ain't gonna vote. And this was gonna happen next with Joy Reid and those guys. They're gonna try to talk a good game. They're gonna try to throw a card, a shuffle in the deck, a card that don't belong there in the deck when it comes times for election. And then they're gonna be posed with the same thing. Do you want us? At least we're talking about reparations. Or those guys. Well, now, if you ain't doing more than talking, we'll take some more destruction. We don't mind somebody else getting in office to further destroy this shit for everybody. But you see what happens, black folks, with reparations. You see what happens with the reparations thing. All we had to do was stay the course. What's going to happen? See, reparations is a multi-generational fight. That's the thing we got to understand. Reparations is a multi-generational fight. This isn't you get reparations, then go back to fucking off. No. You get medical reparations, education reparations. And if people don't want to do that, then you just don't play game. You just don't play ball with them. They need us to vote. We don't need them shit. Just don't play ball with them. Fuck it. Let them fight it out. So what if it takes 10 more years to finally get a check? So what? 10 years gonna pass anyway. Think about it. It's already been 10 years since Obama left office. What if we was on this in 2006? Where would we be now if we was on this in 2006? So, okay, they're not gonna give us anything 2026. They don't give us anything 2028, fine. They don't give us anything 2030, fine. Stay the course. They don't give you anything 2032, fine. Stay the course. They don't give you anything 2034. Keep staying the course. Because these motherfuckers don't like each other. And I don't think it'll take that long. All we got to do is get the hell out their way. All they do is fight each other any goddamn way. All we got to do is get out the way. Just get out the way. That's a great strategy for us right now, man. Get the fuck out the way. Let these people fight over their goddamn country. Leave us the hell alone. Get out these people's way. And don't compare no goddamn LeBron James to no goddamn Muhammad Ali. That's a sin. We got to honor our greats. We got to honor our legends. What I'm talking about here is honor. We got to honor our greats. Yeah, hold the line. Just keep going. Just keep walking. That's all we got to do. Just keep walking. So all we got to do is keep walking. Mind our own fucking business. Raise your kids. Teach the kids. This is why we need reparations. You see this man shooting this little boy? That's the same thing that happened 36 years ago with Latasha Harlins, an old girl. Soo Jung-un. Because you got the rest of these niggas going around talking about something, oh man, not the past. Things ain't the same. These things are different now. These kids, they playing with each other. Things are different. Are they really? Are they really? Make sure you donate to the Black American Family Tree Foundation. Also, it is summertime. We got in the shop. We got the new Black American canvas. But I'm auctioning on. I'm doing a giveaway for a signed version of this Black American Music Family Tree free framed canvas, the signature edition. All right. But staying the course does not mean voting for some damn party that ain't did nothing for you. Somebody say you don't say the course. You stupid motherfucker, you better absolutely say the course. If you don't want to set the course on improving yourself, then you're a loser. Staying the course means continue on. Continue with your greatness. Build your greatness. Build your stuff up. Stay the course. And get involved politically when it makes sense. But if they ain't talking to you politically, then leave them alone. Don't talk to people who ain't talking to you. Old school rule. Don't talk to people who ain't talking to you. If they ain't talking to you, if they ain't promise you nothing, it ain't nothing to vote for. Stay the course. Build your life. Build your empire. You don't need no political party to get there. Only talk to a political party when they promising you something. Outside of that, leave them alone. All right? Y'all have a good one. We out.